Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the press conference for the Future Hamburg Award 2021. Moin, as we say in Hamburg. Great to have you all with us. My name is Stephanie Dreyer, and it's a great pleasure to be your host for the next hour. I'm a journalist and moderator based in Toronto, and at the moment also the digital ambassador for Hamburg here in Canada. As you all know, we are facing huge challenges, but also at the same time are having a great opportunity to set the course for our future. The year 2020 was a reset button for everyone in more than just one way. We will share with you in a few moments how this reset might also lead to something very positive. And we have some great guests with us today to talk about the Future Hamburg Award. We have also an agenda slide prepared for you so that you know what we have in store for you. Senator Michael Westhagemann from the Ministry of Economy and Innovation is with us today. And we have also a former winner of the Future Hamburg Award, Joanna Hill, from the company Lignocure with us. Last but not least, you already see him on the screen, Rolf Strittmatter, the CEO from Hamburg Invest, will start us off with a presentation and tell you a little bit more about the Future Hamburg Award and what's in store for this year's edition. After that, we will have a short presentation with a senator or more as well, an interview. And after that, we have a clip with Senator and Saeed Amidi, the CEO of the Plug and Play Tech Center in California. This is a clip and a fireside chat. We will have him on later on live, but at the moment it's 2 o'clock in the morning in California, so this clip was prepared beforehand. At the very end, we will have a short interview with Joanna, the recent winner. We will try to weave your questions into the conversation as we go along, and we may also have a few minutes left at the very end for some extra questions. So please post your questions in the Q&A box and also mention for whom the question is intended. You can also post your question in German and we will translate if necessary. I hope you have received all your press kits. If not, there is also a link mentioned in the Q&A section with a download link and a Dropbox setup. So this should all include the information and contact details you may need. But without further ado, please welcome with me now Rolf Strittmatter, the CEO from Hamburg Invest, and he will present to you now the Future Hamburg Award Edition 2021.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Moin, also from my side, a very warm and special welcome, of course, to all of you. So I'm very pleased to introduce you the Future Hamburg Award, the latest edition 2021, our great international competition for startups from all across the world. So as you probably all know, Hamburg is one of the few cities globally that has launched its own startup award. And we decided to do so because we believe that only through teamwork, through collaboration, we can master and foster the challenges of the coming years, as you mentioned before. So what we need is the brightest minds and the most innovative business ideas in order to forge the new path for Hamburg and of course for all the cities of the future. So let me mention one thing. So I think it's Hamburg is both a reference and a test site. It's a metropolis and a hub of Northern Europe. And what do we mean with future made in Hamburg? I'm deeply convinced that we deliver on this promise in many ways, and the award is an important integral part of the achieving this goal. So next slide. So I'd like to tell you something about the more details about the award. So the award, as I mentioned before, is of course not only an award, it's I think a tailor-made business service for international startups here in the city of Hamburg or coming to Hamburg. It also offers, and I think that's the main asset, easy access to one of the best and vital ecosystems in Germany and of course in Europe. And who can apply? Yes, innovative startups from all over the world with all digital technology or knowledge-based business model, of course, and very important, a functioning demonstrable prototype or yes, product, of course. So next slide, please. As I mentioned before, it's the second edition. So we launched this Future Hamburg Award 2018 first time, but this latest edition is a new approach. But as you can see on the slide, the first edition of the award was a really great success for us. We had over 120 submissions and a really huge media reach. We secured 29 partners, active partners to promote the award worldwide, globally, resulting in submissions from startups in South Africa, from Korea, the US, Israel, and of course, Europe. The winners of the award 2019 were, and you mentioned it before, not only Lignopur, it was also HeptaSense, it was Humanizing Autonomy, and as well, a special prize was Testen from Norway. They all gained really good access to investors and networks in Hamburg and of course in Germany towards this award, this Future Hamburg Award. I'm very happy, you mentioned it before, that Joanna from Lignopur is with us today to share her own award experience, of course. And let me emphasize my warm congratulations, by the way, for the new investment round with a financing of 2.2 million euros. This could be or might be also one result of the distinction of the Future Hamburg Award. So next slide, please. The latest edition, so the second edition, 2021. So we have sharpened the scope of our focus for this year's award. So it's all about discovering the best ideas for the city of the future for Hamburg. 2021 is a year of diverse large-scale projects, especially in the fields of logistics, mobility sectors in Hamburg. And we really consider ourselves as a showroom, as a test field for new ideas, and of course, for business models. So that's also one reason why we are hosting this year the ITS World Congress. And we're looking forward really for this globally Congress in the field of new mobility, of course. Next slide. What's the focus this year? So the focus is, of course, it's Hamburg's key future economic drivers. It's logistics, it's mobility. And of course, we have a very great meaning of green hydrogen. This is very important to be innovative, to be sustainable. So logistic mobility together with green hydrogen, that's the focus of this award this year. These are the key issues in the development of a sustainable and viable economy, a must for the progress of the cities, not only for Hamburg in the 21st century. And this is applicable not only to the city of Hamburg, but to all cities of comparable economic and social impact. We are creating a collaborative approach here, and it's hugely important for us to be on eye level with the startups. We need them as much as they need us for a test field, for their prototypes, for their products and showroom. We strongly believe that together in a team, we can set new standards for the future, and that can only be achieved through global collaboration, of course. So next slide, please. So I mentioned it, what are the main objectives, the goals for Hamburg with this award? So first of all, we would like to increase, of course, the international awareness of Hamburg. We would like to put Hamburg on the global map, of course. And we would like to strengthen our networks in terms of quality and quantity. Next slide, please. Benefits for the startups. What are the benefits? So I'm deeply convinced that the award offers an immaterial incentive for startups, not just money. That would not have been an option for us as a city or as the promotion agency. We offer the winners a 3-day stay in Hamburg, filled with a lot of meetings with investors, with business advice, with prospective partners, potential partners and clients. We individually tailored to the needs, our services of the startups. The goal is, of course, to enable further stays in the city and further prototyping and improving the business model. We also assign the winners to the Silicon Valley for 1 month, together with our global partner, the accelerator Plug and Play. Thank you very much for this very fruitful cooperation. So it is here that they can further fill their business idea before they start to implement it in Hamburg, in the Silicon Valley. In addition, there are 2 additional awards for the best startups of the award. First of all, a guaranteed investment offer from Am Hafen Capital in the 6-digit range. And of course, the opportunity to use the test site of the Hamburg Port Authority. I think this is a very special offer. In other words, we intend to give startups a long-term attachment to our city. Next slide, please. What are the main milestones? So our milestones for the rollout of the awards, it began in December last year with a preview as part of our marketing format Hamburg on Tour. And today we're kicking off the application phase, of course. Startups can now apply until 31 of March, end of March. On 26th of March, our middle of the road event will take place as a part of the Plug and Play Expo on mobility and logistic. Here we will feature a top class panel of our jury members, including Dr. Beluser from Hapag Lloyd. It's Mr. Debus, CDO from Shell Global, Claire Jones from What Three Words, and Gunnar Froh, CEO of Wander Mobility. You will find further information, as mentioned before from Stephanie, from site about the jury and the award in the digital press kit. In summer, we will see the digital award ceremony. Within it is much more than a ceremony, since we are planning a summit here with various panels and elevator pitches. So just spread the words in social media, and thank you from my side.
Thank you so much, Rolf, for this insights. I'm still waiting for some questions to come into the question section. If you're trying to raise your hand, don't worry, we will try to get to your questions, but please use the Q&A section. It should be on the right-hand side of the lower bar in your platform setup. But Rolf, just because we still have some time left, and I would love to ask you also a question. In your opinion, what should startups bring to the game to be successful? Because you're asking now for applicants to come forward. What do you think needs to be in the sauce, a special sauce for the startups to be successful?
Yeah, so I think thank you very much for this question. So I think we all are sure, and we all agree that startups should be driven by an innovative idea, of course. They have to have a real entrepreneurial spirit, I think, and they have to have a mindset of being a pioneer in her fields with their ideas. So, and of course, we mentioned it before. We find it out that it's very important to have a prototype, more or less a first product, to have a relevant criteria for the assessment for the Future Hamburg Award. And of course, we offer the startups more or less a double check. So does the idea, does the product, the prototype fits to the location? And I think Hamburg offers everything as a location. You have available investments there. You have a very strong business network. You have a relevant market. We have a strong industrial basis. So I think you have everything you need. So that's important from my side, or in my view.
Of course, you're probably biased, but in your opinion, why is Hamburg an attractive location for startups?
So I think we have the special mix, or the perfect mix. So Hamburg stands for the combination of tradition and innovation, of course, in all business sectors. We have very strong industry clusters. As mentioned before, a very vital ecosystem of startups, universities, very strong basis. We are a trade hub, an international trade hub with our port. And of course, we have a high quality of living. So this is confirmed by many rankings. So I think this is the USP of Hamburg as the second largest city of Germany. But we have to mention that Hamburg is the biggest city of Europe that is not a capital of a country. So the basis was always economic growth. And so I think Hamburg is the place to be for all the startups who, if they have an idea and if they have a business model, just come to Hamburg. Perfect place.
Sounds like a great invitation. Thank you so much, Rolf, for the time being. If questions are coming for you later on, you will stay in the background and then you can come back to the screen for the last minute round at the very end. So then we move on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We move on. Next up, I would like now to welcome the Senator for Economy and Innovation from the Free and Hanseatic City of Hamburg to the screen, Michael Westhagemann. Hope he's on screen coming up soon. So we just need the camera. Ah, there he is in the flesh. Hello. Senator, you saw the clip and heard the presentation. How excited are you for this year's edition of the Future Hamburg Award?
So now you hear me?
Yes, of course. Great.
Stephanie, thank you very much. Before I start, warm welcome also from my side. I believe Rolf explained a lot why we believe that Hamburg is so strong in innovation. He was telling us that we have a very broad overview about innovation in the different areas. We call it, of course, we have set up 8 cluster organization. This 8 cluster organization you will find on the industrial sector, you will find it on the renewable energies. So, and of course, in the area of mobility and logistics, why we believe it is really important to bring innovations in the cities. I think that is also necessary to open now to, I would say, to the global community, that they have the opportunity to bring their ideas to Hamburg. And this is why this Hamburg Award, Future Award, is so important.
Sounds like a plan. Has COVID-19 and the unprecedented developments in 2020 changed your outlook on what a smart city needs to focus on and what innovations to foster?
Oh, everybody knows the pandemic is really a strong area, and it put it in 2020 in really, I would say strong areas, especially if we look where we are today with where we stand with digitalization just now. It shows us that we have some lacks in the digitalization, but on the other hand, our Hamburg port was working around the days and nights. Also, the supply chains was working, the borders was open, data collection, data flow was working. I think that was okay, but it has also become clear through the pandemic that we cannot really exclusively our producer and supply chain in other parts of the world was urgently needed goods and products. For example, at the beginning of the pandemic, there were not enough masks, you remember, and not enough test equipment for the coronavirus. So, and that was the question. What can we do in the next time to solve this problem? And this is why we also have involved in the Fab City network. We want to be also locally productive, globally connected, of course, with other cities. And but you know, maybe Hamburg is the only one city in Germany that had this network now worldwide. Why I believe without digitalization and new technology, such 3D printing or CNC milling, they would not be possible at all, but also not without the conviction that we all are in the same boat worldwide. I think that is the thing where everybody has worldwide.
You just mentioned Fab City. Maybe not everyone is so clued in as you are at the moment. Can you just really quickly tell us a little bit more about what Fab City means and what it is?
Fab City is a network of people. They looked on the global area. What can we do if we think about what we believe the new factories are? There are the new factories in the cities, so that we have the opportunity to produce products in the cities, and reliable, and of course sustainable. And that is also the question of how long is a supply chain. I told you as exactly the mask. The question was, can we produce this mask also in our cities in the future? And that means that is a new way. Think about what can we do with this kind of new factories if we use 3D printing or if we use CNC? Yeah, it is a new way to produce your products in cities, and this is why they call it Fab Lab cities, fabrication laboratory, and this fabrication laboratory, you have it in the city directly.
And of course, in this particular sort of future plan, also startups can play an important role probably. So how do you feel about startups? What do you see? What is their role in getting a city to become smarter?
Could you remember your question, Stephanie?
Sure. How can startups play an important role in getting a city to become smarter?
Okay. Yeah, startups has a very important role, I believe. Why they normally have enough ideas, new ideas, especially if we go in the area of technologies. And this is what they show us also on the last Future Award, that they can bring also the new spirit within this in the city, and this is why I believe that it's so really important that we have a very strong startup area here in Hamburg. You know, we have over 1,200 active startups here in different areas, and we have a survey by startup detector so that we can show later on everybody around the globe what kind of startups we have in our city. And our strategy is so that we offer all the other startups community worldwide, please come also over to Hamburg.
Now, the Future Hamburg Award is one of many initiatives to drive innovative projects. What would you like to achieve with this award?
This is an award, first of all, that everybody knows what is Hamburg doing. The second is this Hamburg Future Award is extremely important to show everybody what does it mean in 2021. Just in 2021, we have a very strong ITS World Congress, and you know that is more on the area mobility, and of course that we have a model role where we believe, if you look to cities, how we will use mobility in our cities as well, and we show them also what we believe is also in the future very important. If you look to logistic change, what is changing on this area, but on the end, I will show also to everybody that we have also a very strong green hydrogen area. We will develop a green hydrogen economy, a business economy. And this is why it is so important to meet a lot of startups outside from Germany.
Now, if you have, probably not at hand, but maybe you can look into the crystal ball and tell us in a few words, what will the smart city in 2030 look like? You always have to plan ahead, so you might have an idea.
That is a very special question. First of all, if we look in the future, I believe we will see so much changes. The first important point is where we believe, if we look to our climate targets, is it really necessary? Necessary, it is of course necessary, but how we bring our climate target, and that means also we have to decarbonize a lot of areas. We have to decarbonize the industrial sector. We have to decarbonize the mobility area. A lot of questions. I think that is the first important point. Then we know that we can reach only these targets when we have new technology in these areas where we need to decarbonize this CO2 emission. And the third is that I believe cities in the future must be one of these cities where we believe we have a very, very good living situation. It is for everybody who is working in the startup area, who will work on the industrial area, that you will find in modern cities. And for me especially, it's important, and that is, I would say, a little bit characterized for Hamburg. We have a strong port. We have a very history on industrial areas, and hopefully it can work together. And that, I think, is very, very important.
Mm. Now, you know that you've been talking to Zaid Amidi on various occasions, and because it's now 2 a.m. in the morning in California, he will not be live for this particular press conference, but will join us for the one that is at 5 p.m. GMT, but we have prepared a clip. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you feel about the collaboration and partnership with Plug and Play for Hamburg. How much does it mean to you to have them on board for this particular Future Hamburg Award?
Yeah, Plug and Play, for me, they are a very strong, if I can say this, company. It is an extremely good accelerator. And we start our discussion, we discussed about logistics. And there was a very deep discussion with Said Amidi. And after the discussion, we say, Said, and he said to me, Michael, we have to work together. But then important is that you have the right person on your side, and that is Nikki. Nikki supports us in Hamburg, in different areas already now. Of course, on the area of logistics, but now we are discussing also what's coming up with green hydrogen. But also important is we have a very strong new area. We name it, we call it Science Area Bahrenfeld. Right there, we want to develop a new area for young people, startups, who is working on the life science area. They are working maybe on material areas. So I think this partnership is so strong in the meantime that I'm very happy that Plug and Play is with us here in Hamburg.
Thank you so much, Michael. At the moment, there are no questions so far, but you of course stay on in the background for the last Q&A session at the very end of the press conference. So for the time being, thank you so much, Michael, for being with us this morning. And I couldn't have said it better. This is a great, sort of partnership between Plug and Play and the city of Hamburg. So we produced a fireside chat. Anna Schwan from Schwan Communications was so nice to facilitate this talk. So we can roll the clip now and enjoy it. Thank you so much.
So the first question is the following. We are in 2021 now, the first year since the pandemic. And a year where everything is in change, and we've seen how much the world has changed within the last year. And so I'm very interested in your predictions for the economic future in 2021 and beyond. And I'd like to raise this question first to Michael Westhagemann. What is your prediction for the economic development in Hamburg?
We are creating the condition here in Hamburg to make our metropolitans fit for the future. I think this question is for every city, but all over the world, cities are facing similar challenges to advance the economy, power, but also the quality of life for all inhabitants. I think that it's important. And how we can do this, I believe we have to drive innovation in a best way in different areas. That means logistic. That means also, of course, hydrogen, green hydrogen. It is the area of mobility, so that we can show or that we can build up a showroom for innovative transport systems. And the showroom must be not only for Germany, that must be a showroom for Europe and maybe for the rest of the world.
May I ask you, where do you see Hamburg in this framework of the future, so to say? What's your prediction for the economic outcomes in 2021 for Hamburg and beyond from an international point of view?
Hamburg is one of my favorite cities to visit in the last 30, 40 years. And as a logistic hub, as one of the largest ports in Europe, I feel they can play a great part to be the test bed for mobility and logistic. You know, with the very big port and the industrial area at the port, plus the new mesa that Hamburg city has built, I believe we could have very interesting, continuous showcases in Hamburg. And Hamburg Startup Award can play a part in that, as well as the ITS World Congress and many, many more activities. As Michael mentioned, I believe sustainability, green or clean
Energy.
technology does not have any limit, and it's must have. It's no more good to have. And we very much look forward to being part of the journey together with Hamburg.
Said, what is your prediction from an international point of view?
By coincidence, I had a talk with Mayor of Seoul yesterday at a conference called CES, which is the Las Vegas conference that is all virtual. But I could see in Hamburg or in Seoul, there is a real initiative from the government side and from the corporations we deal with, that they want to embrace change. As Michael mentioned, that you are willing to test new technologies and prototype ideas. And you know, that culture or that mindset is very, very important for the entrepreneurs, both from Germany to, you know, bring their ideas to Hamburg, but also globally. I feel Hamburg can play a part to show the world how smart city can function.
So we'll keep going and return to the Future Hamburg Award now. And Said, why do you think that the Future Hamburg Award is important, and why are you excited about that partnership here?
You know, we pride ourselves in, you know, helping the entrepreneurs succeed. You know, we in California or in US, we have 16 different industries, which some of them are sustainability or smart city. And, you know, specifically in Germany, we help to promote more than 200 startups per year. In Hamburg, we focused on logistics and clean energy. And, you know, if I am an entrepreneur or a startup, couple of things are very important for me. One is the technology and the team that is going to implement the idea, then you need a willing partner like the city of Hamburg to define the problem and work together toward the solution. And of course, you need funding and money, but this Hamburg award, sometimes a recognition of a great startup and technology, is the most important element of the startup's journey.
Great, thank you. Michael Westhagemann, what do you expect from startups applying for the Future Hamburg Award?
After all the answers to some on the most pressing questions can be found in logistics, in mobility, and especially in connection with the use of green hydrogen. I believe green hydrogen is the answer of the decarbonization worldwide. And that is why the Future Hamburg Award focused on logistics, mobility, and hydrogen. I think that are the major topics, not only in Hamburg, but yeah, in Hamburg we are very special, but it is important worldwide. And this is why these topics connect us worldwide also. And by the way, Hamburg is one of very few cities worldwide to set up its own international startups award. I think that is also important.
Thank you. We are talking about the International Startup Award. We are also talking about international dialogue here. And dialogue and collaboration worldwide is seen as one of the most important things to contribute to success for innovation projects. Said, why is this so? Why is international collaboration so important here? And how can we strengthen that even further?
We had a project in Startup Autobahn with Hyundai and a German company that, liquefies hydrogen for easier use. And we feel this whole industry is moving so fast toward decarbonization and electrification that you need to be connected to technologies all over the world. Here from California, Tesla is worth more than all the car companies combined in US. And that is because of the technology they implemented. So my thought is you need to connect the world of, Beijing, Detroit, Silicon Valley, Hamburg, to be able to benefit from this technology innovation. And hopefully we will have number of companies like Tesla be born in Hamburg.
Michael Westhagemann, how do you see this? How does Hamburg expand its international dialogue? And how does the city strengthen its global role economically?
You have to drive innovation. And if you will drive innovation, you need a lot of startups. Why? Startups are very active. And if I look to Hamburg, of course, we have in total 1,200 startups now in different areas, of course. But what is important, you have some technologies you will use in every area. For example, digitalization. Digitalization you need overall. You need also robotic. You need also KI. What I believe is we need a showroom where we can implement all the new things together and to bring the people together. And what I believe Hamburg has just now a good level where I see we have a lot of young people here around, but we have also some companies with history. And if we bring this together, I think that is the biggest things what we can do. And this is why I believe that Hamburg, or for Hamburg, it is so important to set up this Future Hamburg Award and go with this Hamburg Award internationally, global.
Thank you very much, both of you. I think we heard a lot of very interesting thoughts here, and I'm sure that a lot of startups are interested now, and hopefully they will submit their applications. We are very exciting to see what will come out of the second round of the Future Hamburg Award.
If I can say this, I'm very, very happy that I have Plug and Play in this team now. Why I'm sure they will be a great help for us, why they have the experience already, especially if I look to Silicon Valley, California, they have a strong international program. And I believe that it's extremely helpful for us to have Plug and Play with us here in our team.
All right. That sounds already like a great invitation for later on to come back, because as a side note, Said Amidi will be with us for the 5 p.m. GMT press conference, East Coast 11 a.m. and West Coast 8 a.m. So for any colleagues who would like to log on for the second edition of this press conference, and of course, if you would like to come back for the live interview with Said Amidi, please come back for this particular presentation. So how does it feel to be a candidate? What does it mean to get an award? I'm glad I don't have to tell you what it feels like, because I have somebody who can answer these questions, Joanna Hill. She is with us here today. She is the CEO and founder of Lignopure, a company based in Hamburg. Hi, Joanna, you're already up on screen. Great to have you with us.
Hi, Stephanie.
Joanna, so that everybody also knows what your company is about, tell us a little bit about Lignopure.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, Lignopure is a team of amazing professional scientists and entrepreneurs. So we're a startup based in Hamburg, and we are a spin-off of Hamburg University of Technology. What we do is we enable, or we make it possible to valorize the biopolymer or bio-based material lignin. Lignin is a biowaste from industry that is typically burned for the production of energy, and we're giving it a second life. So we develop a technology that enables to take this lignin from the industry and transform it into the right material or the right form for the industry to implement it into their process. For example, our customers are those companies that want to go to this transition from fossil-based materials to bio-based materials, those who want to reduce their CO2 footprint, and we're also working actively in reducing the microplastics in cosmetics.
Oh, it sounds like you're saving the world.
We're doing our part.
How was it for you going through the process? Tell us a little bit about the experience of being part of this particular Future Hamburg Award.
This is very exciting. I have to tell you, I mean, I was so happy to get this invitation because the Future Hamburg Award meant so much for us. When we got this award, we were very early stage. So this was for us like the first validation, that we're doing something good, that we have a good team, that what we're doing is needed, right? And after that, so we got support from the people from the award and also from the Hamburg Invest, I have to tell you. So we got a lot of visibility. After that, we started like all of a sudden, people start calling us. So, hi, I don't know what is lignin. So tell me more about it, or how can I use it in my material? So then we triplicate our number of contacts, and not only potential customers were coming to us, but also investors. And I'm very happy also to share with you that just in December 2020, we just closed our seed round for 2.2 million euros. And I mean, Rolf Strittmatter commented that probably this is an outcome of the Future Hamburg Award. And I think this is definitely an outcome. And this is how it started.
You received the award at the end of 2019. And of course, that was still a great year and nobody knew what was coming at 2020. So how did COVID-19 impact your business?
So at the end of 2019, we also got the funding program from the IFB in Hamburg. So we were able to have our proof of concept in 2020. So we were covered already for the whole year. This was, of course, very good. It was on one side hard because when COVID came, then you could not meet with your team, then face-to-face every day. And this interaction is, of course, missed, right? But we speed up absolutely in 2020. We proved the concept of our materials. We had prototypes. The interaction with our partners was much faster because, you know, all of a sudden then nobody could travel. So everybody was more available. And then we started the conversations with investors also in the middle of the last year and closed around by the end of the year. So yeah, for us, it was also very positive.
Did you have any kind of sort of adjustment issues, because working together with a team, also if you're just starting out as a company, might be much better to sit together in one room and really have some time to chat through everything. And instead, everybody had to also work from home. So working remotely, did you have to change how you basically build your business?
Well, it's we had to restructure definitely the way of communication because we were used to be, you know, in the lab or in the office. And now we do everything online. So now we have a structure, you know, of feedback and communication, but it wasn't happening. It was hard at the beginning because, I mean, the team was also, you know, like somehow feeling, you get the feeling that you're working alone somehow when you're just at home in your computer, right? Like with your own projects, with your own connections. But yeah, this is something, I mean, also for the startups that are there that shouldn't happen because this team spirit, it has to stay also remotely. It's not easy, but there are ways.
You have chosen Hamburg as a base to grow your business. What are the advantages in your opinion?
Yeah, so Hamburg is, first of all, I mean, there was a lot of communication now and comments on how Hamburg is, for example, very strong on logistics, is very strong in IT and these, you know, type of startups. But Hamburg is also home to many companies that are, yeah, like producing consumer goods, that are doing high technology, that are doing engineering. So this is, I mean, we have here our collaborators, the Hamburg University of Technology, the University of Hamburg, and many other platforms that are here. So under normal conditions, Hamburg has really nice startup environment. There are plenty of events. I mean, you in Hamburg, they make sure you invite all the right stakeholders to event. You know, there is like these startups like that are really very, very early stage, and then the ones that are really mature, but there are also coming the investors or the banks. So I think the environment is really nice. And we are positioned in the middle of our supply chain. So yeah, the biorefineries that are supplying our lignins are surrounded, you know, surrounding Hamburg and the different countries. So plus I have to tell you that like my colleagues or my team, so nobody wants to leave Hamburg. I think once you're here, you really don't want to leave.
What are your plans for the future? You already mentioned, and also Rolf mentioned in the beginning, great success story for you. Congratulations again for getting sort of new investments. What are your plans?
Yeah, so we're scaling up our technology this year. We are growing the team. Of course, this is really nice because I mean, you all the time have gaps of know-how, gaps of experience, and then this is only possible now that we got the investment. We're also working towards the certification and getting approvals for our products so that we can come out to the market with our materials.
Thank you so much, Joanna, for sharing you know, your insights with us. members of the press, if you still have questions, we're here for you. And I would like to also welcome back to the screen Michael Westhagemann and also Rolf Strittmatter for maybe just a sort of, wrap-up round, because we are still all here. Thank you so much for coming back on. Now you just heard from Joanna. She is so excited, and she's a great ambassador for, telling other startups to come to Hamburg. You must be excited to hear that as well. But let me also ask you both, Michael Westhagemann and also Rolf Strittmatter. Joanna got the investment, and you also mentioned that the new, sort of award winners will get a guaranteed investment. But is it always the money? If there's a great idea, how can we make sure that we get more people to come here? So how do we get around this money question? How do you make sure that you sort of secure these kind of startups to stay with you also in Hamburg?
Yes, you mentioned it. So it's not all about money. I think, as I mentioned before, it's all about also to get access to those networks, to those strong networks, to the ecosystem, to potential partners. And so I'd like to address once again all those innovative startups from all over the world with their digital technology-oriented and knowledge-based business ideas and models to come to Hamburg, because that's the place to be. We offer this tailor-made service with this award, but also with our networks, with our partners like Plug and Play. So just come to Hamburg. It's the place to be for you.
I can also comment on that. Sorry.
No, Joanna. If you want to start, please. But I would just say what is also important, not that you only offers a test field in Hamburg for everybody. It is also important that we can support from the government side also this financial necessary. And this is why we support it, especially now in the pandemic time now. We set up some special programs so that we can support the startups area better and better. And we are looking, of course, outside from Germany to investors. They look to our startups and say, oh, Michael, these are brilliant startups, and maybe, hopefully, they spend also enough money. But it's really important to give them the right support. We have a bank here in Hamburg. We call it Investitions- und Förderbank. That means investment has to come to these startups.
Yeah, and also one comment from my side here, because Rolf, you mentioned Hamburg is the place to be. I actually didn't tell you what happened after we received the Future Hamburg Award, because it's not like you just get the award, you get the ceremony and some visibility, and that's it. But even after all this time, so after receiving this award, Hamburg really take you by the hand, and they take every opportunity to connect the startups to other stakeholders. And I think this is, I don't know how you guys have time for that, but yeah, we get a lot of help still after this award.
Sounds so great. So I think everybody needs to come to Hamburg. This is apparently a good way to close our first edition of the press conference. We will see you all later at 5 p.m. So if you still have questions then later on, please, colleagues, come back for the second edition of our press conference. And I would like to, of course, say, first of all, a big thank you to all the speakers who've been with us today, Michael Westhagemann, Rolf Strittmatter, and Joanna Dill. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. Of course, a big thank you to all helping hands behind the scenes for making the event possible. Check the press kit out. The link is still available in the Q&A section. If you have any queries, please contact Matthias Bär or Anna Schwan, who can help you out to get you in touch with the right kind of people. Spread the word on your channels if you can, and stay, of course, in touch with our channels. So a huge thank you to you all for having the time to log on this morning. Keep the conversation going. Thanks again. Stay safe and healthy. We hope to see you again soon at the next upcoming events. Have a great day. Thank you so much.